Cameron with Iron Forest Knives here. Just wanted to do like a 2-month review of this machine, the Syil X5. I'm very impressed with it so far. It seems really accurate, really thermally stable. There's a couple issues that I've had with it, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. So far, what I like about it, the control is really good, simple, easy to use, has lots of powerful features. I haven't really used this yet, but it has MPG sim, which I found out from tech support. So that means that you can start your program and jog through it, and whenever you stop, it stops. And that's a feature that my Fadal had that I really liked for proving out new programs. And it's even more important on this machine because it's so fast. Even at 25%, you're still going 400 inches a minute rapids. So, you know, 25, I wish this knob was, you know, like this knob, or possibly like, you know, 5%, 10% on the first notch. But since it has this feature, kind of negates the need for that, honestly. Let's see. It has air and coolant, which is nice. I haven't used the air at all yet. I use coolant. It's pretty powerful flow. One thing I've noticed is most of the coolant goes off this side and basically floods that side with chips and, you know, lots of coolant. So I turned these valves to close them off a little bit. That helped some. So now it's a little bit more even. And, you know, the pressure is, you know, kind of more equal on this side as it is on this side, which is nice. Tool changer has been flawless. No issues with chips getting in the taper or anything like that. I haven't had any run out problems. It's got really low run out, it seems like. You know, once I kind of set my tool, which I don't know if anyone else does this, but you can, you know, these are cheap ER holders. These are, oh dang, air compressor. Cheap ER holders, and with good collets. I use, what is it? I'm trying to remember, Technics collets. So they're decent collets. And, you know, generally my tool will have, you know, a thou of run out or something like that. But I just use a dead blow hammer on the nut to get it dialed down to, I try to get my run out to a 1/10-ish. And it's usually fairly easy to do. And since I don't change tools very often, because I'm doing aluminum, and some of the tools don't run very long, I don't really need to do it all that often. One weird thing, which I'm not a huge fan of, so to add tools to the tool changer, you're supposed to come over to this side of the machine and put them, I don't know if I can see it, there's like a notch where you're supposed to be able to load tools in. And that's just, it seems dumb to have to undo that side and pull the panel off and then put your tool in. So I figured out that whatever tool's in the spindle, the one to the left of it, there's nothing in the way. So you can just pop the tool out just like you can over there and put a new one in. So kind of goofy, I think. Supposedly there's another way to do it with like the spindles at like a certain height. You can pull the tool out of the spindle directly, but I don't know. I haven't messed with that. This method has worked flawlessly for me. Just change to one tool over, and then you can pop your tool out and you're good. What else? The USB has been really nice. It's nice that you can move programs while the machine is running. You can adjust stuff while the machine is running. You cannot change offsets while it is actually actively running. But, you know, other than that, and that's for like safety feature, I'm sure. What else? All the buttons have, it looks complicated, but all the buttons have a purpose. It's really not that many buttons. It's really nice. I love it. What else? MPG has worked great. I haven't messed with any of these. Every time you push something like this, it like gives you a warning, like, so I just don't even mess with it. I just let the machine do all the tool changes and change the carousel and all that stuff. Chip evacuation has been great. It doesn't really seem like anything builds up in the corners. I've been running this, no cleaning at all. I have not cleaned anything in here. And, you know, put out lots of chips. There's a few chips back there. Some chips go on the door, and some coolant kind of blows into this little gap right here, but not much. It's not bad. I've been running it. I haven't cleaned anything, so this is kind of after 2 months of running it. Let's see. It's nice having this access door right here so that I can because sometimes you can't really, you're at the wrong position, so it's nice to have this open as an option. You can open that up and work on whatever you're working on back there. What else? My biggest gripe with the machine, I think, is the chip management. So it's not terrible, but the screens that are welded into these chip bins, the chip bins are great, they're fine. The screens get plugged up, and I think that the paint, the coating of paint on them is too thick, and it has actually made the holes much smaller, and the panel's just not big enough, in my opinion. It came with these guys. So these are supposed to go, the one thing that's really weird, this one has big holes, right? These are supposed to go down in here like that to block chips, but like nothing's holding them in place. There's no like channel for them to sit into, it seems like you can wiggle them so they're moving like inches in there. I don't know, I think that is not either not correct or something. And look at this, like this thing, I haven't used this. This is blocked up with paint basically. So I just didn't even use these. These keep chips off the pump. I'm just hoping that this catches most of it. And pull the bin off here. So it's this one, and then there's that layer there, which is larger holes. And I've had this overflow a couple times. Most of it, actually, I think every time it's been because my coolant has been foaming a little bit. But yeah, I think my water was too soft. So I've been adding harder water back to it every time I add now. And then once it stops foaming, I'll just start using DI again, because the mineral content will be about right for it not to foam. But yeah, that's my biggest gripe, is the chip bins. I will definitely be changing these. The bottom tray is fine, like the one underneath the bin, but I think I'm going to, I don't know, just need more surface area of, you know, I used oil frying baskets on the Fidal, and I never had one of those even come remotely close to overflowing, because there was just so much surface area. Like I could run it completely full of chips and it would never overflow. So I think maybe cutting the bottom out of these pans and maybe like epoxying or welding in steel mesh. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's not a major issue. Like I will fix it. But for the cost of this machine, I'm happy, honestly. It's really neatly done. All of your valves and pressure regulators, oiler is all just really easy to access as long as you have this side of the machine available. The electrical cabinet's really neat. I don't have it open right now, but yeah, it's 380 volt, if you didn't know. Here's the transformer under there, VFD also. It's a very neat and tidy machine. I'm really happy with it so far, especially for the price. The main thing that, you know, I was also looking like Haas machines, which, you know, like if you were to compare it to like a DM2 or DT2, which is kind of in the same realm, you know, 30 taper, very fast. The DTs are, I think, 2,400 inches a minute. This one's 1,400, so significantly faster. However, they start at like, you know, 60, 70 grand. The 20,000 RPM spindle option, which this has, is $20,000. This machine was 35. So the value is fantastic. Plus, this is a lot smaller. I think that, you know, the DMs or DTs are bigger machine, a little bit bigger machines, but they have more travel, etc. But I think this is a fantastic value for a machine. Oh, I haven't talked about the problems I've been having besides the chip thing. So the other ones are just software problems. So main one that's most annoying is the wear comp does not work. It actually did work for maybe a week, and then it just one day in the middle of the day I was machining, it just stopped working, and my tool was cutting 1/8 of an inch off of where it should have been. It's like it added the radius of the tool to the wear and like moved it over and just did it, and has never gone back. And so I cannot use wear anymore. So I'm just running it off of diameter and infusion, set it to in control. That has worked flawlessly, and it's been 100% reliable since then, since I changed it. But I am working with the tech support, and they've been really communicative and, you know, knowledgeable about the machine so far. But they haven't figured out what the deal is yet. I kind of haven't talked to them because I've been just running it, and it's been working fine. So I told them, you know, don't like rush. I don't really need it like immediately or anything. Tool setter works very well for height. Diameter, it is not accurate. I'll just say that. And that's what the technician told me also. He's like, you know, you really shouldn't run it directly off of the diameter measurement that it gives you. He said that pretty much all stylus type machines are like that. And to be able to do that, you really need a Bloom laser tool setter instead. Because the flutes, you can get an accurate measurement off of a solid bar, like my calibration tool here. But as far as getting diameter off of tool with flutes, it's not going to be accurate. And I don't love that. I thought I was going to be able to use the diameter and then it would be accurate. However, you know, once you kind of get a tool set up, you just comp it once and it's pretty good. And the only thing that sucks is whenever you change the tool to a different, to a new one, like if it wears out, then it may be a little different. It kind of depends on the quality of the tool that you're buying. The diameter might be slightly off and you have to comp it again. But I mean, honestly, it's not going to be off that much, most likely. And whenever like let's say you're using a rather long tool, if you're comping it because the tool has worn a little bit, has to push harder, the tool's deflecting more, your part comes out bigger, you know, you're gonna have to comp it anyway. So it's kind of, I don't know, kind of just trial and error. However, the length seems very accurate. Thermal stability seems really good, better than my Fadal, but my Fadal is a much larger machine. Obviously, the larger the machine gets, the more thermal issues you're gonna have with growth and change. So, but you know, for instance, I'll do a spindle warm-up that's like 30 minutes, that runs like, you know, 6,000 RPM for 10 minutes, 12,000 for 10 minutes, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. And I had the tool setter measure the tool right before, just straight cold, and then run the whole warm-up for 30 minutes at up to 16,000 RPM, I believe, and then measure again, and it was 1/10 different. And that was just the spindle turning. So that should show you just spindle growth, since nothing else was getting warmed up during that time, which to me that's pretty amazing, honestly. I have noticed a little bit of spindle growth, or machine dimensions changing. It seems like whenever it's getting warm, the parts get, I'm trying to remember, can't remember if they get thicker or thinner. I think they get slightly thicker. Yeah, they get slightly thicker. If I've been running it for 4 hours, it'll get thicker just by like 1/2 thousandths, which is, I mean, honestly, to me, that's very thermally stable. But Fadal would change a thou, maybe more, in 30 minutes. However, once it was warm, it was generally pretty consistent. But I think that's all the thoughts I have. I'm very impressed with it so far. The build quality is great. If you don't know, I mean, I'm assuming since you're looking at these machines, these come with, the casting is made in Germany, and it's epoxy granite, which probably has a lot to do with the thermal stability of it. Tool changer has been great. Big fan, great value. So that's my 2-month review of this machine. I'll probably do another review in the future. And if you haven't seen it, here's my new Paragon Mini. It's just like the other one, shorter, like 3/4 of an inch shorter. Added a pocket clip, or a lanyard hole, because it doesn't have the loop. but geez, focus. I'm a big fan of this one. This is my new daily carry one. I like it a lot. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.